Looking for that heart-pounding thrill like James Bond brings? These 10 movies offer just that with sharp action, cool characters, and intense plots. Each film delivers its own unique vibe, whether it's spy missions, high-stakes heists, or jaw-dropping stunts. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more awesome movie recommendations like this.
Hold on, cowboy!
The Man from U.N.C.L.E. is a fun throwback action film that adds a stylish twist to the classic spy genre. Directed by Guy Ritchie, this 2015 movie reimagines the Cold War era with sleek visuals and witty banter that feels like early James Bond, but with a twist of humor. CIA agent Napoleon Solo, played by Henry Cavill, and KGB operative Ilya Kuryakin, played by Armie Hammer, are forced into an unlikely alliance to stop a global nuclear threat. These two super spies can barely stand each other, making for fantastic on-screen chemistry.
We're both looking for the weaknesses in one another.
Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy is a tense, atmospheric thriller that immerses you in the shadowy world of Cold War espionage. Far from the high-speed chases of Bond movies, this film dives into the intense, paranoid quiet of real intelligence work, following George Smiley, played masterfully by Gary Oldman, as he hunts down a Soviet mole inside MI6. Set in 1970s London, the story unravels through a series of whispered conversations, cryptic clues, and flashbacks, each revealing another layer of deception and mistrust within the British spy agency.
It's become so ugly. We're not so very different, you and I.
Director Thomas Alfredson nails the 1970s vibe, and every scene feels soaked in tension. So, if you're up for something a little different, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy delivers intrigue in a way only the best spy films do.
Is it that people like us choose to serve for nickels a day in a profession that makes us continually look over our shoulders for who's watching us?
If you're looking for a different kind of spy thriller, The Good Shepherd is a hidden gem that trades high-tech gadgets for deep psychological tension. Directed by Robert De Niro, it follows Edward Wilson, played by Matt Damon, one of the CIA's founding officers, whose life is shaped by secrets, loyalty, and the heavy cost of national duty.
You are never to tell anyone what it is that I do.
What you do? I don't know what you do. You leave at 5, you're home at 10, 7 days a week. I live with a ghost.
Unlike James Bond's world of explosions and escapes, this film gives us the slow burn, intense reality of espionage during the Cold War, where every interaction is loaded with suspicion. Damon's restrained performance captures the isolation of his character, and Angelina Jolie plays his wife, whose struggles add a personal layer to the story.
You think you're a gangster?
The plot of Layer Cake revolves around an unnamed, suave, and calculating drug dealer, played by Daniel Craig, who is nearing retirement and has been careful to avoid the violence and chaos typically associated with the drug trade. His goal is to quietly step away from the criminal world, but things take a sharp turn when he's given two high-stakes tasks by his ruthless boss, Jimmy Price. Daniel Craig stars as an unnamed, sophisticated dealer, and it's no exaggeration to say this role helped cement his reputation, setting him on the path to becoming the next James Bond.
I want my cargo.
Vaughn's direction gives the movie its polished, almost glossy look, without losing that gritty authenticity. Overall, Layer Cake has an energy and intelligence that sets it apart. It's a film that entertains while also diving into the human cost of ambition and betrayal. Mission: Impossible. Ghost Protocol is the movie that turbocharged the Mission Impossible franchise into what we know it as today. A high-octane, globe-trotting thriller machine that leans into the breathtaking stunts, elaborate heist sequences, and of course, Tom Cruise doing his own insane action scenes. Directed by Brad Bird, who made a name in animation with The Incredibles and Ratatouille, Ghost Protocol was his first live-action feature and brought a fresh energy and a level of detail to the Mission series that was on a whole new level. The story kicks off with the IMF team being blamed for a bombing at the Kremlin, which triggers the Ghost Protocol, meaning the entire team is disavowed by the US government.
We all have our secrets, don't we, Ethan?
So So now, Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise, and his team are on their own with no backup, no official resources, and a mission to clear their name and stop nuclear catastrophe. So, if you're up for something intense but clever, with meticulously crafted action sequences and a charismatic cast that makes it all work, Mission Impossible. Ghost Protocol is definitely a standout.
Toughest target that you've ever tracked. He's really good at staying alive and trying to kill him and failing.
The Bourne Ultimatum is the ultimate high-octane spy thriller that fans of Bond or Ethan Hunt will love. Matt Damon returns as Jason Bourne, a trained assassin haunted by his past, fighting against a ruthless CIA intent on keeping his secrets buried. What sets this movie apart is the relentless pace. Director Paul Greengrass brings shaky camera action that makes you feel like you're right in the chase.
This is a moment.
From the tense crowds of Waterloo Station to rooftop parkour in Tangier, every scene keeps you on edge. Damon's Bourne is gritty and grounded, a hero who relies on brains and brutal hand-to-hand combat, not flashy gadgets. Released in 2022, The Gray Man is an intense spy action flick brings together a star-studded cast, with Ryan Gosling playing the role of a highly skilled, no-nonsense CIA operative who suddenly finds himself the target of a global manhunt. And who's after him? None other than Chris Evans as a ruthless, mustachioed villain who's just as charming as he is twisted.
Every grade A wet team from here to Reykjavik vying for the prestige of killing the infamous Sierra Six.
Directed by the Russo brothers, the same team behind Avengers Endgame, this movie is packed with slick fight sequences, wild chase scenes, and a lot of international intrigue. It's an edge-of-your-seat thriller that blends classic spy vibes with modern, high-octane action. Atomic Blonde brings a thrilling blend of espionage and intense action, set against the neon-lit backdrop of late 80s Berlin, just before the wall falls. Charlize Theron stars as Lorraine Broughton, a top British spy on a mission to retrieve a sensitive list of undercover agents, all while hunting down a double agent in West Germany. Her cool, calculated demeanor and unmatched combat skills make her a force to be reckoned with.
A bullet.
Ready for action? So follow me, I couldn't ship out the door.
Theron's powerful performance, layered with vulnerability beneath her tough exterior, takes the film to another level. Directed by David Leitch, co-creator of John Wick, Atomic Blonde shines with stylish cinematography, choreographed fight scenes, and a killer 80s soundtrack. This movie isn't just an action flick, it's a stylish, pulse-pounding thriller that's hard to look away from. Kingsman. The Secret Service is a wild, stylish twist on the British spy genre. Directed by Matthew Vaughn, who also brought us the edgy action of Kick-Ass, this movie combines all the beloved spy tropes, slick suits, high-tech gadgets, and a diabolical villain with a fresh, irreverent vibe. The film follows Eggsy, a young, rough-around-the-edges Londoner who gets recruited into a secret elite organization hiding behind a Savile Row tailor shop.
Manners maketh man. I have trouble understanding.
Colin Firth as Eggsy's mentor, a classy agent who can take down a room full of enemies without wrinkling his suit. The movie's high-octane action scenes go from explosive to downright outrageous, including a jaw-dropping church brawl and over-the-top villain played by Samuel L. Jackson. For fans who love the Bond style but crave a bit more fun and intensity, Kingsman delivers non-stop thrills and laughs in equal measure.
Just open the gates of hell.
The United States of America doesn't negotiate with terrorists.
Olympus Has Fallen is one of those action thrillers that came out of nowhere and became a solid entry in the Die Hard-esque genre of one-man-against-the-odds movies. Directed by Antoine Fuqua, it dives headfirst into an adrenaline-packed premise, the White House under siege. The film stars Gerard Butler as Secret Service agent Mike Banning, who's got a personal redemption arc to contend with on top of all the bullets, explosions, and terrorists trying to take over the nation's most secure building.
Abort! Abort! We're talking about the safety of the President of the United States.
One of the film's strengths is its brutal and relentless action. Fuqua isn't afraid to show the brutality of the invasion, making it clear that this is a true fight-to-the-death situation. There's a roughness to the combat and a palpable tension that keeps things interesting, even when the plot veers into familiar territory.
Get in!
What are you doing? Going in alone, no plan, no backup.
I'm reckless and irresponsible.
If you're in the mood for a fast-paced action flick with a bit of a James Bond feel, The Take, also known as Bastille Day, might be just the ticket. This thriller teams up Idris Elba and Richard Madden in the streets of Paris, where a botched pickpocket job turns into a full-blown chase to prevent a major terrorist plot. Elba shines as a rebellious CIA agent who teams up with Madden's street-smart thief, two characters who couldn't be more different but have to work together to survive. The movie packs in intense chase scenes, slick hand-to-hand combat, and some genuine moments of humor, giving fans a mix of suspense and entertainment.